to Love Season 4, and this is a special edition I'm bringing to you tonight. And we are talking about now that these couples have found love, or do we think they're going to make it to the altar? So that's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about, do these couples have what it takes to make it to the altar? And you might be like, why are we talking about that? Because we need to talk about it, because didn't anyone come on this show for no chicken dinner, for no boyfriend, girlfriend, or go out to go bowling? People came on this show to get married, to find love and get married. So that's what we're going to talk about. And there's no need to be sitting around acting like this is the end of their journey, because it's really not. If they want to get married, then they need to keep it going. And what we're going to sit here and figure out is, do we believe they have what it takes to stay together? Now, this show hasn't had a lot of success. We really haven't even gotten one married couple out of this show, which is ridiculous. We're in season 4 and we haven't got one married couple. I mean, I don't know. We still only got 2 boyfriend and girlfriends. So Rashid and Simone need to get busy and get married, or somebody needs to get married so we can have a success. So anyway, let's talk about these 2 couples. It's 3 couples. But first of all, as you guys know, if you watch any of my videos, I always sort of liken the road to marriage kind of like on the car buying process. Buyers and sellers, the women are sellers and the men are buyers. And we're going to keep with that same analogy right here tonight. So the show kind of did a lot of the work for the buyers and sellers, because they kind of brought them together. You know, they brought together men who said they were seriously interested in buying, which means marriage, proposing to a woman for marriage. And women said that they were sellers. They were seriously interested in receiving an offer for marriage and either accepting or rejecting that offer. So that's what we're going to go with. So right now where we are is we already just finished the showroom. That was the whole game, and that was the whole season of the TV show. We was in the showroom. You know, the women were showing the men what they're working with. You know, they were showing them what this car can do, the dashboard, everything. The men are like, yeah, I like it. The women are kind of, vetting the men a little bit to figure out, is he even qualified to purchase this car? They're asking the men a few questions, but nothing been verified, but they ask them some questions. And, because at this point in time, sometimes, hey, you figure out, hey, this buyer's not even qualified to buy this car. He's just here. He's looky-loo. He's not even interested. He's over here wasting my time. So if you're a salesperson and you figure out a buyer is there as a looky-loo and wasting your time, you typically move on. But no, these are supposed to be serious buyers and sellers. So now what we do is we about to move on into the office, because right now the seller says, she likes what she sees, and the buyer says he likes what he sees. So let's come on up in this office right now and talk for real. And you know what? This is just like the road to get married, because getting married is a serious thing. It's not anything you go into lightly. It's also not anything that just happens. A lot of people think they create a new road to marriage, that they're unique, or they're entrepreneurs and they're going to come up with a new way. Marriage been around for hundreds of years, and every married couple has had the same old discussions before they got married. So you're not going to come along and all of a sudden think you're going to rewrite the road to marriage. Like I said before, people need to understand, sure, you may add a little flavor here and there, but for the most part, a lot of the steps to marriage are the same for everyone. So anyway, right now they're at the part where they're coming into the office. You know how that works when you're ready to buy a car and say, okay, come on in the office. Let's talk more details. And this is where they're about to go. They're about to go in the office and talk more details. And the details they're going to have to talk about are some big ones. They're going to have to talk about finances, babies, career, and lifestyle. Right? And so at this point in time, both the buyer and the seller, they both want to make a deal. The seller wants to sell, the buyer wants to buy. So these two better be able to negotiate pretty well and make sure each can get out of the deal what they want. And both have to be serious, right? You can't have each other wasting each other's time, and you are not a non-serious buyer, or you got a seller who really doesn't want to sell. That's a waste of people's time. But now the negotiations are going to begin. So let's talk about the 3 different couples and what they're going to have to negotiate on. So first of all, let's talk about Camille and Cornelius. Now, when we talk about the 4 categories I'm bringing up, which are babies, finances, career, and lifestyle, I think they're going to have a problem, y'all. I think they're going to stumble in a couple of these areas. The first area I think they're going to stumble in is the babies category. Camille is 42, almost 43 years old. She already has a child, but Cornelius doesn't have any child. children, and he has made it quite clear that not having any kids is of his own is a deal killer for him. He said he wants his own children. And so I'm wondering, is Camille going to be able to deliver on this? She's already going to be 43 in a maybe pretty soon. And what I'm thinking is are they going to get going and move along soon enough and fast enough that she even has a chance to have a baby? You know what I mean? I said, let's be honest about it. I don't think Cornelius meant he wanted to adopt, and I don't know if they have the finances to do the surrogacy and all that people do. That's expensive. So that area right there, I think is going to be really hard for them to overcome. I think when logic starts to set in, I just don't know how they're going to handle that. The other part I think they're going to have a problem with is finances, because we saw a little glimpse of it. When they were first dating, they were sitting on that bench, and Camille was talking about her 4 degrees, and she got a PhD, Dr. Hazel, and all this other kind of stuff. And Cornelius asked her, do you have a lot of student loan debt? And she looked at him and said, well, of course I have a lot of student loan debt. You don't get 4 degrees without a lot of loan debt. And when he was trying to guess how much debt she has, I remember whatever was going on, it was alluded to that she's got possibly 6 figures worth of student loan debt, maybe $100,000 or more student loan debt. She voted for Biden because she's trying to get that student loan debt relieved. But anyway, I don't know what they're going to do. I know Cornelius winced at that. I don't know what his pockets are. I don't know if they fat, but he's going to have to think about, do I want to take the risk, the debt of $100,000 or more in student loan debt, plus the possibility I can't have any children with this woman, let alone multiple children with this woman. I think those are 2 big ones. I think what they do have going for them are lifestyle, and I think that, neither one of them have a career necessarily that interferes with marriage. I think that Camille is a teacher. She doesn't earn a lot of money, so I'm not quite sure how that helps with the whole student loan kind of situation. Also wanted to have babies, which means she might have to stop working for a while to have those babies. And so I don't know what, Cornelius, I know he's modeling on the side, but I don't know how many modeling gigs he has. But I think those are 2 areas, the babies and the finances. I think those are 2 areas that are going to be really hard for them to overcome. So I don't know if they're going to be able to make a deal in this office, you guys. But the next couple I want to talk about is Dante and Aisha. Now, Dante and Aisha are the opposite. I don't think they're going to have a problem with babies because, of course, she doesn't want to have them. He doesn't want to have them. I think they're good on that right there. I think they're good on lifestyle. I think they got kind of similar type personalities and things they want to do. I know Aisha says she wants to be laying naked on a beach somewhere. I think Dante will be, right there, with her. I don't think either of them have any types of careers that would interfere with them getting together. The only area of concern I have with them, and it's actually on Aisha, is finances. Because she mentioned she wants to be resting her femininity. She doesn't want to pay any bills, maybe a bill or 2. What bills, Aisha? The gas bill, the light bill, the cable, the internet? That right there, I'm not for sure. I think she's going to have to negotiate a little bit harder on that, because I don't know if Dante makes the kind of money where he can afford to take on his 3 kids who still have college to get through, and also take on her 2 kids and foot all of that, all of those bills. I think Aisha's going to need to have to come to the negotiating table and come up with something different. No one's telling her that she's got to pay all the bills, but I think she's going to have to come up off that hard line she's drawn. And the other thing, I don't really know why Aisha keeps pointing to resting her femininity, having to do everything with money or bills, because you can be feminine and still contribute to the household. In fact, one of the couple of things I noticed about Aisha during the reunion, she's a New Yorker through and through. And sometimes New Yorkers don't come off feminine, be honest with you. Sometimes they can come off and buck up. And I think Aisha looks at femininity only having to do with money, but she also needs to realize that femininity has to do with how she behaves in situations. And so I think she's going to have to maybe sit back a little bit more and kind of let that New Yorker sit back a little bit more on that one. But I think they're going to have to renegotiate the deal on finances. Now, do I think they can do it? I think so, because I think Aisha wants the prize more than she wants this having to never pay a bill. I think she's entrepreneurial. I think she owns her own business. So I know she has the capability to contribute to the household. I think she just didn't want a man. She didn't want to have to over contribute to the household. And I think their negotiation is going to be what percent of the household she contributes to. Sure, her first offer may be 0 contribution, 5% contribution, but I think she's going to need to put some more in that kit. But if she can do that, I think that they can actually go on and find their way to the altar. But if she's not willing to negotiate a little bit more on that, I think she's going to stall negotiation, and she just may find that her buyer walks out of that office and goes down to another dealership and makes another deal. So I hope she's smart enough to realize that. The next couple we want to talk about is Phil and Sydney. Now, Phil and Sydney, I don't think they're going to have problems with babies either. They both have said they want children, they want a family. I don't think they're going to even have a problem on what's the other one? I have finances, career and lifestyle. That one, finances, I don't think they're going to have a problem on. Career and lifestyle is the one I'm wondering, are they going to be able to negotiate that? Because I do see some areas about Sydney's lifestyle and her career that might come in conflict with the life with Phil. I think he likes part of the sexiness she brings, but I also think that it might be too much or overwhelming for him. He even admitted that he almost didn't even approach Sydney because he wasn't all the way comfortable with so much of the sex appeal. And what I noticed on the reunion, I really liked what she had on, to be honest with you. I thought it was sexy, but I didn't think it was too club-like. And I wonder, did Phil have an influence on the difference in her attire? Because the Sydney we saw throughout the season, she would have had cutouts and all other kind of stuff going on. She would have had a neck plunge all the way down to her belly button. And what I noticed was she was sexy, but she was still covered up a little enough. And I think that's where she's going to need to rest to be with Phil. And the other thing, when Sydney was introduced Phil to her mother, I think Sydney's mother is probably going to be a good coach for her, because I can tell her mother has this sort of ability to be feminine and sort of let the man take care of things. But her mother is smart. I think her mother is coaching her and telling her, hey, those football players or NFL players you've been playing, they're not going to give you what you want. You need to settle down. You need to get a man who's going to give you the family and give you these types of things that you can trust and you can count on. So what I'm hoping is that Sydney's able to make the adjustments. I do think the adjustments are going to be on Sydney's end. I think she's going to have to give up some of that high life, some of that club life, in order to fold into married life with Phil. I think that's going to go on in the negotiation room. But I think she has enough incentive, because she's not a spring chicken either. So if she wants kids, she needs to make a deal. She's going to have to figure out what she's willing to give up in order to make this deal. I know people talk about, you don't have to settle, but you know what? Call it what you want. I don't call it settling. I call it negotiation and making a deal. And when you negotiate it, yeah, you give up some things, but you also gain things that are of more value to you. And that's what people have to understand. You don't always get what you want and get to do whatever you want all the time. You have to come to a balance so that you get things that you want and he gets things that he wants. It can't always be in one person's favor 100% of the time. So anyway, that's it. That's it for the three couples. So I actually think that Camille and Cornelius are not going to make it past the office. I think negotiations are going to break down. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to break down, but I do think that they'll break down eventually. I think Sydney and Phil have a chance to actually make it to the altar. And I think that if Aisha and Dante get through the finances, I actually think that they have a chance to make it to the altar too. So let me know what you guys think. What are your opinions? Drop down in the comments. I'd love to see it. Talk to you later. Bye.